Is precision farming worth it in FS22? Let's find out. A new update came out last week. Today we're going to figure out if it's actually worth doing. There's a lot of things people are testing out right now. There is differences of an opinion. We're going to go over cost, price, everything that all the equipment you need, all the equipment you don't need, and everything involved. So let's take a look here. This right here is basically the cheapest group of equipment you can do to get a perfect score on your farm. We have a seeder that can direct drill, a tractor that can pull it. It needs 210 horsepower. I think I could have went a little cheaper. I just wanted a JCB to move everything. It's a little faster. So you can go a little cheaper, but you do need a base game model to get the sensors. Now those sensors are about $15,000. They only work on base game gear. They do not work on modded tractors. Not yet anyways. Maybe eventually modders will put that out, but right now it's only base game. You can put these sensors. Does the same job, but it's a little more pricey. It's about 24,000 for these guys. You can put it on any tractor with a 3-point link. If your tractor doesn't have a 3-point link though, you can't use it. And those, the sensors here and the sensors up there, are to regulate and let the system understand how much fertilizer to put down. You don't need it on anything else. As far as I'm aware, it's just fertilizer. So not too bad. I just grabbed this guy because it does lime and fertilizer, and you're going to need both of them. So that is the cheapest one for lime and fertilizer. You're also going to need, well, first, this building. You don't need this building, but I find it very useful. So let's go into the build mode. It's under sheds, and it's right here. It says building with RTK base station. It apparently makes your AI workers more precise in how much they're putting down for the field, and it makes them work apparently faster. I haven't seen that 100%, but we'll see. Now we got this guy. This is your soil samples. You don't need this guy, because you can buy soil samples off the map. It only lasts 3 cycles, and then you have to rebuy it again. So let's go into here. I'll show you what I mean. In here, you now have a new screen, precision farming screen. And as you see, each field has a 50, a 50, and 50. That's how all of them start out. It's going to take a couple harvests to get those regulated to what your field should actually be. So don't get discouraged off the start if you start doing your harvest and everything and you're only at 60%, but you've done everything correctly. It takes multiple harvests to get it correct. So don't worry about that. But if we actually click on here, we can see the economic analysis. It's how much lime you used, how much everything you used, and how much it actually cost. But at the bottom of the screen, it says purchase soil information. So because these 3 are grouped together, I can get all of them at once. Now, if I did it to another one, you have to own the field, so I can't click on any of these. But if I did own the field, it would only give me usually the 1. But because this has 3 in it, it's going to give me all of them. So I'm going to purchase a soil map. It's only $787. Not much. Small fields. Or I could bring this around to every field, drop it down, pick it up, drop it down, pick it up, and send those in. And after a little while, you get your soil evaluation back. And it'll tell you what fields, what the type of ground type you have. And it will vary. So I'm just going to buy it from here. 700, not too bad. And you can see we got different types. So we got sandy loam. We got silty clay here. A little more sandy loam, and then loamy sand. And this guy, we got loam, sandy loam, and a hair of silty clay. So nothing crazy there. So you can buy this. This guy, let me see here. This guy is $17,000 for this. And you still have to pay for the fee of sending in the soil. It will save you money in the long run, especially if you have a lot of fields. It's going to save you money. When you get to the bigger size fields, they're going to cost a lot more. So if you're playing an American map, I mean, it's going to take you a long time to do this, but you're going to save money in the long run. I honestly probably just gonna buy every soil map. It lasts 3 times, 3 harvests, and then you have to do it again. That's the same with this. You have to do this again every 3 times, every 3 harvests. So there's no difference. One's just gonna be able to instantly do it, and one's gonna take some time. I'm gonna go with instant. So the equipment you see here, all of this equipment, it's gonna run you, besides this tractor was on the map, it's gonna run you 278,000 roughly. Now I did not include this tractor, which is another 200,000. So you need at least 210 to pull that. So I mean, you can use a modded one. This one will go up to 210 if we upgrade it. So yeah, you're looking at 210 exactly, 162. So it's a pretty price tag. So if you're adding this to an existing map and you're playing with precision farming, you're gonna need more. You're gonna need a lot of money to start this up, and you don't need to start like this. You can start slow. You can maybe get, the lime and fertilizer equaled. Now the good part about precision farming is that when we go over to a field, actually if I just jump in this guy, I'll show you real quick. Every tool that we use, and this is if you take care of your fields or not, if you just want this feature, which is my favorite feature, if you see in the top left, it says variable speed rate, 0 seeds at the moment. Now, if you hold left bumper, it'll say deactivate automatic application rate. So the seeders will automatically disperse whatever material or whatever seed it needs to per soil type. So for some soil types, it's going to need less seed. So you're going to be saving money on seed and using less every time, depending on your soil type. Now you could have fields that have really bad soil type and you need more seed. That way, in that case, you're wasting seed. It's kind of depending on your fields, and you won't know your fields until you buy the soil map and already bought the field. So there's no way to know what seed or field type you have ahead of time. Now, this guy, you have to buy the seed and spray option, which is another 39,000, I believe. So this guy will run you almost 100 grand. It's like 91,500. So really, it's one of the most expensive pieces of gear. But you don't have to do anything with it. You put herbicide in it and you take care of the weeds. That's all that thing will be used for. Nice, easy, simple, but it's going to cost you. Now, for the fertilizer, you do need the sensors, but you really don't need anything crazy. It'll auto adjust lime and fertilizer so that you don't use too much or too little. So that's the nicest feature, is the auto adjusting to instantly put it to what you need per your soil type, and it adjusts on the fly. So you don't have to do anything. It'll automatically do it for you, and it will save you a little bit of lime, a little bit of fertilizer every time, and seed. I'm not including planters in here. If you wanted to do planting, you also need a direct drill planter. So that's more money. So you're looking about 300,000 for everything, if not more for the tractor, to make sure that you can get 100% every time. But you don't only get 100%, because if we go to our map again, this field has one grade, this field has another grade, and this field has this grade. Now, if I click off that, you'll see an environmental score on the left. That is our total environmental score. If we go down and you see every meter that we need, as long as you fill up all those meters, you're good. Now, at the very bottom, it's in very small print. I'll try to zoom in here. It says your environmental score increases your sell prices by 2%. It won't change in the store. So when you go into here, it's not going to know if you have a great score or a bad score. That doesn't change. What happens is when you sell, it's going to give you a bonus for your score. It'll give you extra money on top of what you get normally. So there is money you can make from just having a good score. Now, in the beginning, you're not going to have a good score. You're going to have a 58. You might get 2% extra money, nothing crazy. Over time, these will go up to 100, 95, 80, and you'll get better environmental score, and you'll be able to do everything and make more money from it. So it has its pros and cons. The big con, which is very interesting to me, because you're using this equipment. Now, it doesn't have to be exactly this equipment, but things that do the same job. This guy right here has to be this one to get a perfect score. You get 30 points for using the See and Spray option. 30 points towards your score. So if we had weeds come up here in this field and we use the Seed and Spray to spray it all down, we'd instantly get 30 points added to that field's score. So it would jump up to 87 instantly. Now, I say instantly, it does take a couple days in the harvest to grow to actually change some of the scores. So bear with it. It is what it is. It'll change. Just give it time. Same with fertilizing and same with seed. They both just need a little bit of time to register in the system, and then it will give you your score when you're ready to harvest. So you might feel like you didn't do something right. Just give it time. Do a harvest. If it didn't work out for you, just do another harvest. Sometimes it will take a couple cycles to go through. I haven't done anything on these fields. As you can see, I just bought the soil map, so none of this has been done. But there are some things that we no longer need if you're doing precision farming. That includes regular seeders, regular planters that do not direct drill, because you get 30 extra points, or I think it's 15 points, for direct drilling. And you get absolutely nothing if you plow. So plowing, cultivating, all the disc harrows, everything like that, you don't want to use because it's negatively going to affect your score. It's not going to negatively affect it. It just won't go up. So using a direct drill, you're going to get more points than plowing, you're going to get 0 points. So it doesn't go into the negative, but it does go down, or it doesn't go up. So all the disc harrows and everything like that are no longer needed if you're doing precision farming, which also entails if your field needs plowing. I'm not sure if this one does. Yeah, it says needs plowing, but it will affect your score if you do. So, do you take the hit on the field needing plowing, or do you plow when it needs to be done, the rest of the time you use a direct drill? Or do you shut off plowing in the settings so that you don't have to take that negative crop? Because it's going to affect your crop. You're not going to gain as much if you do plow, but you're also not going to gain as much if you do plow. So obviously plowing every time is bad, because that's going to negatively affect you every single time. If you plow once every 3 times you harvest, then yeah, you should be okay. The other 2 harvests, you'll get a perfect score, but it will affect you that other time. And because it's kind of a rolling cycle between all your fields, if you say have a perfect score on this one, and then you go over and you're halfway done with this one and halfway done with this one, and they're at 57 and maybe at 60 or so, but this one's at 100, and you go to sell your product, because your environmental score is not all the way up, you're going to get less bonus income. So when you go to sell, you want that environmental score to be perfect. So what's eventually going to happen is you want all these to be on the same cycle. You want these to be, when this is going to get ready to, or growing, and you have a good score, this should be the same, this should be the same. You're going to want to keep most of your product for when you have a good score to sell. So it's gonna kind of make you keep your score as much as you can, and not kind of do anything crazy with your product. Don't just sell randomly. In the beginning, I mean, sell as much as you want because it's really not going to affect you too much. You're going to get a little bonus. So you're getting that little bit of extra money, but you're not getting anything crazy. Now, it's nice, don't get me wrong. It does add a level to Farming Simulator. It is fun to use, but it is limiting. Because if we go into here, it's gonna take out a lot. Now, obviously, you're still gonna be mulching, you're still gonna be rolling, you're still gonna be doing all the normal things that FS22 brought, but you're not plowing, you're not cultivating, so there's no reason to do stone picking because there's no stones. So there's this whole row besides mulchers is completely useless. You don't need disc harrows, you don't need subsoils, you don't need power harrows, you don't need spaders. None of that matters. Half the seeders don't matter. Half the planters don't matter. Rollers will still matter. You can use slurry and you can use manure, and that will help. So when you start off a field just like this, and it will show you, if we go into here, we go through the next thing, your pH is normally your lime and everything. So that's going to be what levels it needs to be at. If you come across with slurry or manure, it'll adjust to a base level. So it'll make everything even. So that way when you put your crop in, crop kind of decides how much more fertilizer and stuff you need. So then you come over with your fertilizer and it will auto adjust for that crop type. Every crop type is a little bit different. So as we move over here, we got bad pH, we got bad nitrogen. So that's just fertilizer and lime and fertilizer. Nitrogen's your fertilizer, pH is your lime. And this says need plowing, but we're not going to. So it's going to be hit or miss. Some things are going to work, some things aren't. Now you will have a yield section here. It will not, don't worry about that till later. That's going to, after a couple cycles, you'll understand. And it will give you how much yield you got per section, per field, and it'll give you an options and stuff. And you'll also be able to see your seed rate throughout here. So whatever your field type is, maybe this section will be, standard, and then this will be low and this will be high. It's all just going to dictate off of what ground type you have. You could have a field that all has loam, and you'll be basically the same as a regular field that we have had the whole time. Loam is like your baseline, perfect soil for the most part. And then it varies from there. But all in all, I think it's a nice addition. If you're a player that does not get a lot of time to play or just likes to come on and just do your own thing, precision farming is probably not for you. It's not it takes a long time. It's a process. You have to make sure you're looking at the field menu and also this menu and making sure everything is taken care of. And there's a lot more involved. If you want to do it on the side, go for it. I think bigger maps, you're obviously going to make more money off the bonus. So that's going to help out a lot more. But it's going to take a lot more time, a lot more seed, fertilizer, everything to take care of it. So if you are a die-hard Farming Simulator fan and you love doing precision farming, 22 is great. It's fun. It's entertaining. Don't get discouraged by the beginning because, it takes a couple harvests to get used to it. And prepare to spend $300,000 real quick. But all in all, I enjoy it. It's fun. I haven't gone through, I think I've gone through 4 cycles on my farm, just checking everything out, testing everything. And it's fun. It adds a new level, and it's more, a little more crazy and a little more hectic sometimes. I know I'm probably gonna do a let's play with it on, but all my let's plays are gonna stay the same for now. But yeah, I think it's actually pretty good. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you're planning on using it. Let me know if you absolutely despise it. Let me know in the comments. But anyways, have a good one.